everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the RIP Tour Podcast. I am your tour guide, Tim, and we are here for another episode of all kinds of stuff. This is like the random things that we are still pondering. We didn't get any announcements, but we have some stuff for you. I'm just going to call this the stuff episode. But I can't do this by myself, so I have some other tour guides with me. Gary, how are you, sir? How is it over in the UK today?
It's good. It's just not enough hours in the day to get everything done that I need to do. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I get that.
Trying to get all like the house stuff, DIY projects and everything finished before we come over for horror nights, but
yeah,
it's proven very difficult.
You'll get there. Because me and Liz are dealing with some weather. Liz probably more than me, because Liz is on the other side. But Liz, how are you today, besides prepping for Hurricane Debbie?
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid Debbie's wrath at the moment, but no, it should be fine. But yeah, there's bands coming through already, so if all of a sudden I disappear, you know what happened.
That is the case. Hopefully,
we're not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Right. I think we're in between bands, right? We're in between bands.
Yeah, in between at the moment.
Okay, so this is not going to be a super long episode anyway, so we should probably be able to get through this. So basically we just have a list of topics that we're just going to discuss today. So I'm just going to get right into it. The first one is we're going to talk about is construction updates. So there's been all kinds of things added into the scare zones. So we're basically just going to talk about some of the pictures we've seen from both Inside Universal and Bio Reconstruct. So thank you for always putting out some great pictures for us to see when we can't get into the parks. So actually, I want to pass it to Liz and Gary. You guys saw most of this stuff. I haven't seen it. I mean, I did see it this morning, but you guys saw it before any of us. Like, I had just another crazy week. So thoughts on what we've seen in the scare zone so far?
Yeah, so I think if we're starting at the entrance of the park, It looks like we're going to have our Halloween Horror Nights neon entrance yet again, with also the catwalk that Oddfellow had last year. So it looks like maybe Surreal and Sinister will be greeting us from atop during the opening ceremonies, and then maybe down on the ground, just like Oddfellow was before. So yeah, that looks like what we've gotten used to. And I think it makes sense with the new parade to have it pushed forward like that, so they can still do the daytime parade, making that turn over by Today's Show Cafe. Yeah, I think it's going to be same as last year.
Yeah. I got to imagine that the lit up HHN night sign will probably go up this week, I would think.
I think so.
Just my guess.
I have a couple of little side questions.
Yeah.
So the first question is, would you like to see a different sign up on that truss? Oh. Would you like to see it like the artwork that they've done this year with the whole Otis thing around that? Do you think that would look pretty cool? I do. I think that would look different. We've had that one since HHN33? Have we had the old style sign back? As much as I love it, I would love to see something else cool. Maybe they will dress it up, a little bit different. And the second question is, do you know how last year we thought they moved the scare zone down because of Minions Land? What if it was just measurements in feasibility for the parade that we didn't even know about? That's what I was thinking. So initially, obviously, last year I thought they had moved it forward because to try and separate it from Minions Land, but maybe it was just to see logistics for the new parade.
Go ahead, Liz. You go first.
Yeah, I could totally see that being the truth of just seeing how that would work in execution, knowing that the parade was coming. I think that makes total sense to me. And I would love to see Otis at the actual main gates, but since I don't think that's going to happen, yeah, I think it would have been cool to have Otis there. I do love the Halloween Horror Nights neon sign. It's part of Horror Nights history, and I'm glad they've brought it back out, but I do think it has diminishing returns every year when we've all already seen it. We've taken the pictures. At a certain point, I think it's time for a change.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I love that too, that, at least I got to see that, since it was from back in the day. I'm not opposed to anything new. Just, make sure it's just, it's going to draw us in. I want that excitement. That's all. But I do love that neon sign, though. I'm not going to lie. I do love that neon sign. So, all right, what other updates we got in the zones? What are we going to next?
Yeah, I think let's move over to New York because that's the next big area. So we have Torture Fair props being added. We already had the stage, but now there's a sign that says Torture Fair. We're getting some more details. Some booths are popping up, similar to what we saw last year in Vamp 69. And I believe they had them for Sweet's Revenge as well. You know, where they put a scare actor in there, there's sound effects, there's props. It's a good little photo op and a good area for the scare actors to interact with.
Absolutely. This, I guess that they added the sign, I'm assuming overnight, because I think we saw that this morning, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was there yesterday, so I think that was added overnight, which is wild because today's Sunday.
Right, and I'm actually kind of surprised too, especially with the storm impending. Like, why, so now I don't know if they have to go out and rush and take things down, or if they feel confident that this storm is not going to affect it.
I don't think there's going to be that much effect for Orlando. I'm over on the coast near Tampa for anyone listening who doesn't know that. So yeah, I think Orlando should be well insulated for this.
Yeah, I don't think it's more of a wind event, but more of a rain event.
Exactly.
Like Orlando and myself. So I'm on the opposite. I'm on the East Coast. So we're gonna get it too, but we'll get those outer bands, and it just my forecast I think is just like a lot of squalls.
Yeah.
Some wind gusts, but not as bad as how it's going to be over on the West Coast. So.
Yeah, it does look like they reinforced the main entrance.
Yeah, because they had the X's with the like.
Yeah,
the
just in case.
Yeah, which is good, thank God. So always hurricanes when we get to HHN season, right, guys?
Yes.
All
so
right,
Gary, what was your first impression for seeing the new props over in Torture Fair?
I don't want to sound negative. I hate being negative because I do know how much work comes in, but I just think that it just doesn't look right. The whole Renaissance era with the whole metal truss, and then what is it with this? Yeah, with all the speakers on show. Like, I know they've got to put them up, but like, I don't know. It just doesn't look right to me. That stage setting. I know there'll be loads more props to go onto it. I know that, but I don't know. Hopefully there's some like wooden stuff going over the front of the metal sort of A-frame. To me, I don't know. It doesn't gel in at the minute, but obviously it's early days. So hopefully by opening weekend, we do have a lot more stuff covering up that metal in the speakers and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully so.
It's early, so I agree. I'm not going to make any judgments too early. I mean, I think it looks fine right now. But I get what you're saying, Gary. So we don't want to look at too modern, for a Renaissance time, scare zone.
Exactly.
But I like it so far. So we'll get to the hype list. That's coming. So we'll get to that. So
no spoilers.
All right. Yeah. All right, Liz, continue. Take us through.
So then we move on to San Francisco, where we have the halfway announced scare zone, Blumhouse.
I wonder what this zone could be.
I don't know. I think we're going to hear more soon, supposedly. But yes, we have the Blumhouse zone that we don't really know what's going in it yet, but we know it's going to be Blumhouse. They've added, last week we talked about the BH stages that kind of gave it away. And then this week they've added some more props that they look like they're supposed to be weathered, like a weathered basement, I would describe it, where it's wood, but then it's also falling apart. And then they added a truss with the Blumhouse logo on it, which really gave it away.
This is like, why do they do this? Why are you not announcing this? I just don't understand.
It's got to be some sort of contract or something with Hollywood that they're waiting to tie in. I don't know.
It's just weird and wild to me. So I have a question for both of you. So we obviously know it's going to be Blumhouse.
Yes.
I think my big question is, do you think that we see some kind of form or some kind of anything from Five Nights at Freddy?
Gary?
I think if you were going to get anything Freddy, it would be a whole house. Not maybe a nod, but I don't think we'll see any characters roaming around that zone. I think it'll just be the historical characters that we've already seen. Was it Bagul from Sinister, Megan, maybe Michael Myers possibly, because that was that Blumhouse? The new one was Blumhouse, I believe. I think.
Yeah. The grabber.
Yeah, I'm hoping we see the grabber. Just to see him standing with like a bunch of balloons, I think that would just be really not awesome. Even like moving or jumping and scaring people, just standing there would be really cool. So I really hope he's one of the photo ops if they do have that similar backdrop near the Peacock Bar last year. But I don't think we'll see much of Freddy's in that zone, if anything.
Okay. What about you, Liz? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to save that for an inevitable house for the future. I just think this one has such high demand that they're going to want to wait and put that as a house.
All right. I'm on the other end. I think we're going to get a little something because I think the problem is trying to get the full house from the creators of Five Nights. Obviously, I don't know anything, factual or concrete, but I have heard some things along the line that, he's been asking for a lot of money, I think, to use that property. But I mean, if it's just, maybe one or two of the characters, dressed up, maybe that's something kind of leads into it. I would love to see it, but I won't be upset if it's not there. So
I think a lot of people still hate on Blumhouse, but really we only had that one bad house that 1 year. I think everything else that we've had Blumhouse has pretty much been solid in my eyes. The Black Phone House I thought was absolutely brilliantly done. The freaky bit, the movie wasn't the greatest, but you can appreciate the house because it was just basically a run through of the movie, which was cool. So I think they have done some pretty good stuff. But like I say, at Freddy's, to me, I don't know, it's classed as horror, but to me it's just a weird fit. I don't know if it's just because I've never been interested in that property or seen the movie or played the game or anything like that. I don't know.
Have you not watched? You haven't watched the movie?
Nah, it's not something I've ever really been interested in.
Have you seen the movie? I will say it's very enjoyable. It was better than I expected it to be, and I've never played the game, and but I thought it was enjoyable. And Matthew Lillard, that's all. I mean, what else more could you ask?
True.
So, all right, Liz, what else we got?
So then moving around the park, I believe the next thing we have is over in Central Park, which would be Swamp. Yes. And we've just seen them continually adding props. So more and more details being added. I think this one is probably pretty close to being set up. I'm not quite sure what else they could add, but there's, boats, there's shacks, there's all sorts of barrels. Lots of items being added to add the atmosphere for this one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like this one is probably closest to being done because I feel like it has the most props and stuff in it so far. I saw some alligator head in there, some turtle shells, some owls, just kind of, in the shacks, which is kind of cool. So I kind of dig that. I'm really looking forward to this zone. I can't wait to see how it is at nighttime and if they do anything to light it up from the trees and stuff, like we've had in the past with all the pumpkins and whatnot. If they just go a different route, and maybe it's lantern type stuff or whatever. But I always love that how Central Park looks when it's lit up at night like that. So.
And all the extra fog that you guys love so much.
Oh my God! I can never see anything in there because they just jack up the fog. What about you,
I'm
Marion?
excited for this zone. Just looking at the photos now, it's reminding me of zones that we had pre-COVID, like Trick or Treat, Wicked Growth. It's looking like a packed zone. I think we were all hyped for Scarecrow because of the name. I think the zone was a little bit of a letdown, but looking at this now, we're getting some really cool props. And there's one photo here that's just really intrigued me, and it's barrels chopped in half as if they look like they're floating above water. So like Tim says, I really hope we do get some sort of laser fog lighting where it does look like we are and the barrels look like they're floating. If they do that, then it's going to be a solid zone straight away.
That's a good point. I feel like that makes a lot of sense, especially if like they're trying to make that just like you said, make those barrels look like they're floating in the fog with the green lighting. So hopefully,
fingers crossed.
For sure. All right, Liz, do we have any more?
I believe that's it for the scare zones because nothing that I have seen has popped up in Hollywood yet, and I assume that's mainly because of the parade. But I assume most of the props there are going to be wheeled out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So nothing yet for Hollywood, but we do have.
And what zone is that going to be? That's
Demon Queens.
Demon Queens. That's right. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Cool.
So that was it for the scare zones. There has been some props added over into Diagon Alley for the Death Eaters, which haven't been announced. I don't imagine that they will get announced. Maybe just on the full reveal on the website. But we do expect them to be back. And then we also got some aerial photos from BioReconstruct over on Twitter to update us on the tent facades. So have you seen this, Tim?
I will say no, I have not.
Okay. So the museum is pretty much done. We've seen that for a while. That one, I mean, they finished that facade early. There's been some work on Slaughter Cinema 2. The screen is up. That's looking fantastic. Can't wait to see that. But the big news was that we have our first facade over on the new tents, at least in progress. Don't believe it's finished or anywhere near finished. And I'm not exactly sure which house it was supposed to be because it really could have gone either way between goblins or Universal Monsters. But we do have a facade progress. And I think one of the questions we had for those new tents was, will they have exterior facades or interior facades? Because the tents are so much larger. So looks like we're getting exterior facades.
I'm all about that for the exterior. I want to see it when I'm in line.
Yeah.
Oddfellows was so good last year, just walking through the whole carnival bit. Yeah. So it just adds another dimension to the house instead of just a plain old tent door.
Oh yeah. But I'm so
I think
excited.
It builds the hype.
Yeah. And Slaughter Cinema, come on. We're going to have the screen up again, so there's going to definitely be trailers for all these sections in the house. So I'm so excited about that.
Please say Mike Aiello has recorded a new section for Meaty Meat. That would just be the icing on the cake if he did a new segment.
That's awesome. I wonder if they'll use some of the older ones too, just to mix them in.
I wouldn't be mad.
You know, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
some callbacks.
Exactly. All right. So that's our updates on construction, right?
Correct.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next topic, which is looks like we had a tribute store teaser show up in the Mummy gift shop. Is that correct?
Yes. So this is another inside Universal reporting job, but we had some props show up in the Mummy gift store teasing our Halloween Horror Nights tribute store. And it looks like it's going to take place at there's a museum exhibit being shipped, and it's shipped from Cary, Ohio, which, I see that.
I'm looking at it right now. This is cool.
And there's a Fathom Corp reference as well, which, quick trivia, what's Fathom Corp from? Drum roll. Either. No?
No.
Depths of Fear.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
They would not win at HHN Trivia.
No, we would not.
I need Ash here. But yes, so they're teasing this exhibit that's being shipped in. And what's the name of the garden that it says on there?
It just Wonders of the Ancient Garden.
Yeah.
And it just says an unnatural artifact with a mysterious origin.
It's a bat. Something about a bat.
Oh, yeah. If I can scroll in there a little bit more.
So there is a newspaper clipping that gives us a little more information. And the other teaser about it is that it says check back weekly. So I believe that we're going to have new news articles every week leading up to the event opening.
Here, I can actually read this now.
Perfect.
So a recent acquisition by an anonymous benefactor has been donated to the Museum of Antiquities this weekend. A statue that bears resemblance to a bat, along with other artifacts, will be revealed at the opening night gala a gathering of the city's most wealthy and elite philanthropists. Whispers of a curse have made their way to our ears here at the paper, which could lead to a very interesting weekend. And then it just says multiple sources say that, and then it just says continued on page 2, which we don't have.
The curse, it's real.
Yeah, so...
I love that they do this kind of stuff. It's just it's for the hardcore fans, isn't it? It's not for the general public type thing who probably would just walk past and go, that's a cool exhibit. It's for the people who are going to go every week and notice this sort of stuff. So I'm all for it.
So does that mean we're getting a museum type tribute store?
It would tie in with the house,
right?
Yeah, and it sounds like it's going to be an exhibit, so this sounds right up my alley.
Mm-hmm. I think this sounds amazing.
I think that would be cool to get like a museum type, but like we all wished for the house, each room to be a different type, different theme, you know, like Egyptian, maybe some like Asian, like, you know, terracotta warrior type stuff. That would be so cool.
Yeah. That'd be sick. But that's your rumors, or a teaser, if you will, from for the tribute store. Gary, our next topic. What opened?
I knew you would pick me for this one.
I know.
So we have the Boardwalk Lil Boutique, which I just do not like. I always look forward to the All Hallows Eve Boutique, as I'm going to continue to call it. What is it with Little Boo? What is it that keeps bringing him? Is he the in-house Chucky? Is he the new Chucky?
Yeah,
pretty much.
He's Earl the Squirrel, but for Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to start with it.
I don't know, but I'd take Earl the Squirrel over Little Boo every day.
Yeah. I would rather have Earl's evil cousin for Halloween.
Oh, that would be amazing.
But yeah, it's open. It does look cool. It's always nice to have a little walk around because you're getting a little bit of horror spookiness during the day. So I do still appreciate all the work that's gone into doing it. I even do like the sign, how they've spray painted the Little Boo over the boutique. I think that's a fun little touch as well if they're going to go down that theme. But again, if everyone liked the same things, the world would be boring. I'm just not a fan of Little Boo, and I try to limit buying merch that has him on if I can.
Yeah, and there was definitely a bunch of merch that, you know, dropped in there in the shop as well. But yeah, we want more of the other stuff. We don't want Little Boo. We want the event stuff. Drop that house shirt. Drop the Scare Zone shirt. Do something. Let's just see it. I'm not even like really wanting like the IP merch this year because it's nothing that's screaming out to me. Like, right.
I would be all for them doing like Prince t-shirts and stuff like that, all for the originals. I think that would be really cool to get like, you know, a whole shirt for just, you know, the museum house or Goblin's Feast type house. I think that would be so cool and something totally different. Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, Little Boutique is open, so go get your Little Boo merch. All right, so this is a topic near and dear to our hearts because we're all doing it. Unmasking the Horror. So this starts in, what's today? All right, we are Sunday, August 4th, right? Mm-hmm. So this starts on the 10th?
I think the 12th is the first tour.
12th, okay. So basically we're 8 days out from Unmasking the Horror, and nobody is able to find out what is on each tour, the 3 house or the 6 house. So we have no clue what's going on yet. Gary, do you remember, did we have an email by now?
Yes,
telling us?
Did.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We got an email because we'd booked. I remember we tweeted it out quite early. So just out of sheer curiosity, I reached out to Universal via Twitter, and they gave me the VIP tours email address. So I emailed those guys, and they said in short that they also didn't know which houses were on the tour. So that was probably a week ago. Then I think I emailed again on Friday saying, you know, I've got the 6 house tour booked. I'm tempted to do the 3 house tour. Are you able to tell me which houses are on the tour, since it starts in, you know, just shy of 2 weeks, thinking you might know. And they said at this time we have no update of what what houses are on the tour. So I don't even think Universal knows, to be honest.
That's wild.
That's
just very wild.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to clear up something from our previous episode because we were talking about what house was not on the 3-house or 6-house tour last year, and we all, me and Gary, obviously clueless, had wrong answers for everything. So Liz has found out that it was The Exorcist that was not on the tour, on either of the tours last year. So.
Yes.
I must have just imagined doing a tour through The Exorcist.
Gary was dreaming of The Exorcist.
Mm-hmm. I love this house so much. I did walk through this, didn't I?
Did it for Liz.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one of Liz's favorites.
My fave.
So that's our update on the Unmasking the Horror Tours. We don't have any information. They can't tell us what's on the 3 or the 6-house tour yet. I mean, if it starts on the 12th, I would figure we need to find out this week.
Yeah, and I'm saying the 12th because I was looking at possibly booking a 3-house. So it might start on the weekend, and those are just sold out. I don't remember what they announced, but that's the position I'm in. I'm interested in a 3-house.
Right, but don't you want to know what's in it?
But I want to know what's in it before I book it. So exactly. I'm just twiddling my thumbs.
That will work out quite well, though, because we can now do an episode on all the behind the scenes stuff, because we're doing the 6-house, you're going to do the 3-house.
Yeah,
that'll be awesome.
So we can do a full deep dive into
that.
Awesome.
Excellent. All right, but that's all we got for Unmasking the Horror. Sorry, guys. Wish we had more info, but hopefully that'll come this week. So if any of you guys are also doing the 3 or the 6 or both, hopefully we get that information this week, especially with it, like we said, we think it starts at 12th. Maybe it's that weekend, this coming weekend, but either or, we need to find out before it starts on next week. So. All right, and then, one of the most important topics that we love to talk about is obviously, food menus, drink menus. What are we going to see for the event this year? We all love trying different food and drink, but man, we still haven't gotten that yet either. So we only got those couple that were listed for the premium night, correct?
Yeah.
The vegan tostada or whatever that thing is, and then the I don't know what the
candy apple
mousse
yeah.
or something, right? Yeah. So, unfortunately, that's all we have. We don't have any info for that. But Liz had posted the question over on our Discord about asking what food items would we like to see return to HHN33 this year. So, Liz, take us through some of the responses. Like, what do people want to see back?
Yeah, so we got some answers from our lovely listeners over on Discord. So I asked if you could have any item return, what would you want? And I'll let you guys answer for yourselves. But we have Zeus wants the Reuben fries back, which I still haven't tried those. I don't know.
I heard they were really good.
Yeah, and they didn't come back last year, right?
I don't think so.
I didn't see them last year.
I heard those were really good. So the Reuben fries. Miss Lauren the cat wants the crab fries, which I assume is my absolute favorite, the petrified rat tails, because R.I.P. Crawling Nightmares wants the vegan walking taco back, which I didn't try the vegan version, but the non-vegan version is probably the item I want back, because that was delicious last year. So how about you guys? What do you want to see back?
Go ahead, Gary. You can go first.
There's a few items I really like. First off, the Dr. Oddfellow's hot dog. No, I'm just joking. That was one of that was one of the most worst things I've ever ate.
It was not good.
What was on that again? It was wild, right?
It was like a confetti cake bun type. It had like
yeah.
And then it had some sort of
Kool-Aid pickles.
Kool-Aid ketchup. Oh, pickles.
Kool-Aid pickles.
Yeah.
Bubblegum mustard. Or something
like that. It was awful. Same as the Chucky Burger, but I did it for science. Did it for the show.
Exactly, for science.
Did it for you guys.
Always for science.
I really liked the street corn that they did at the Stranger Things booth in, I think, 2018. I didn't do the walking taco at Horror Nights, but I did do it at Magic Kingdom. I'm assuming it's the same because it's the Fritos one. So I'm assuming it's very, very similar. So that I do know that is good, but that's why I didn't get it. I enjoyed the little donuts that they did at the Stranger Things booth. They did the little pumpkin
spice.
ones, and then they had them in the dirt. They were really good. And was it last year they had the red burger with the black bun on top? Was it?
Yeah, it was a red bun, right? Oh yeah. At
Battery Park, they sold it there. I really enjoyed that. That was a good burger. And apart from that, the chicken offals were really up the list.
Yeah, Gary just took mine. That's what I want. The chicken offals back. But I also will add one more that it wasn't last year. It was the year before. I want the grilled cheese booth back.
Oh, yes.
We
always talk about this.
The jalapeno popper
was so
grilled
good.
cheese was just absolutely so good. I would love the grilled cheese booth to come back, please.
And the No Chance in Hell PB&J.
Yeah, that wasn't there last year, right?
No.
Yeah.
That fried Uncrustable. I've made them at home, but it's not quite the same,
right?
Without the Horror Nights grease, you know? The air fryer just doesn't quite do it.
That dessert we got, Liz, was pretty good. Was it Yuri's something?
Oh, I had
Yuri's
that.
favorite.
Yeah, that was pretty good in the little tub.
Yeah,
It was,
that was really
rich,
good.
though. Oh, man.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, but it was good.
Yeah, crazy. And then, obviously they haven't announced any of like the bar themes, but we know there's gonna be bars.
Yeah.
They're setting up, stuff over by what the hell is the name of that place? Why can't I?
Sting Alley.
Sting Alley, yeah. And then also over behind the San Francisco.
Lombards.
Oh, Lombards, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can never remember that place. I mean, we assume it probably be Peacock Bar again, but we don't know. That hasn't been officially announced, but
The Blum Bar.
Yeah, I feel like that's what we're always going to call it anyway, is the Peacock Bar. Anyway,
Exactly.
That's just basically the name it's been dubbed, but we'll see what happens there.
I haven't seen any
bar.
work on the Transformers extended queue. I haven't seen any work. Normally the bar's set up there by now.
True. Very true.
I'm sure that'll come, though. And then I think the biggest question, especially for you two,
Yeah.
is what's going to be the theme in the good old Dead Coconut, or whatever it's going to be called. Who knows?
I am manifesting the for the YouTube viewers. I have a Dead Coconut T-shirt on, so I'm manifesting an announcement anytime now.
Now, see, last year we got a hint to the theme in the boutique. So I was scouring all of those pictures trying to find a hint. And I didn't see anything. But yeah, last year we got a poster for The Red Planet, which was part of the movies that were being shown at the Dead Coconut. So I want my teaser for Coconut.
Soon enough. Maybe we do just get everything this week.
I hope so.
Like just announce Blumhouse already. We all know it's the zone.
Yeah.
And then
give us the food.
And then just give us the food and drink, and we will be very happy. And then obviously the house is on the unmasking tour. So
I mean,
drop it all.
I do know one thing. We'll know by August 30th.
Thanks, Gary. Captain Obvious over here. Dang. Anyway, all right. Well, before we move on to a couple other things, anything else before we almost head out of here on any of like construction, anything HHN related? Gary, I think you want to mention something that was pretty epic that got announced this past week. That wasn't HHN related, but we're all excited about it.
Before I move on to that, there's one thing we haven't discussed in weeks, and it is the Cabana Bay experience.
Oh, that's right.
True.
There's been no talk about that, and that I checked, that has normally been announced by now because it is normally parceled in with the deals that they do for the hotel and the Scream package type thing they do for like a weekend stay at Cabana Bay with Horror Nights tickets bundled in. So are we getting something this year, or are we just getting the cool themed bars? Be a bit disappointed if we don't at least get an experience. I know the last couple of years haven't been the greatest. Have just been, photo ops. The Munsters one during 22 wasn't the greatest. What did we have last year? Was it Chucky? I didn't get it. I actually didn't even do it last year. The greatest one was the Stranger Things one. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I haven't seen any announcements about that.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Chucky fan, but the photo ops were fun last year.
The Jack one was cool too.
Yeah, I'd be pretty
Thanks, Tim.
disappointed.
You're welcome. Oh, did you not see that, Gary?
No, I didn't.
I know. I'm sorry.
Rubbing it in.
I know. But yeah, I did want to... I know it's not Horror Nights related, but I think we would be doing a disjustice not to talk about the biggest announcement in a while, and that is we got the full drop of the new Harry Potter land portal coming to Epic Universe. I want to know what your guys' initial thoughts were, Liz.
Well, I've only seen the first Fantastic Beasts movie, so for me, it was like, oh, I guess I need to finally finish that series to understand what's happening with Paris. But I don't want to say I grew up because I was already a teenager when these books started coming out, but it's still a big part of my life reading these books. So I will always be excited to see more Harry Potter content. I'm not tired of it. I love that world. So I'm excited to see this Ministry of Magic ride because I know it's been on their plans for a while and we're finally going to get to see it come to fruition in Epic. And I think if nothing else, we're going to get an amazing queue experience just like we got in Hogsmeade, in Diagon Alley. Now we're going to have Ministry of Magic, and I think it's going to be amazing to see.
Awesome. Tim, you excited?
I am, but I also have some questions because there are things that don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I think we might be on the same thing.
Being a Harry Potter fan, so we're talking about Paris and Fantastic Beasts, but then we have the Ministry of Magic, which is in London. So I'm a little confused on timelines. I'm not saying this isn't going to be amazing looking because obviously everything they've done Harry Potter looks fantastic. Like, I'm not even questioning that. It's going to look amazing. I'm just questioning how this really ties in. And then I'm kind of like, I don't know about you guys, but it's legit one ride. The other attraction is a show, which is cool. That's great. Mm-hmm. But there is only one ride in this. Granted, this sounds like it's going to be one of the craziest rides ever, and I can't wait to get on this. But I feel like if you're building such a huge park, right? And this is a specific area or land, and you legit have one show and one ride. I don't know. That to me, that just seems like that's not a lot. And I know there's going to be plenty to do. There's shopping and restaurants and whatever else is going to be there. I'm sure there'll be some kind of entertainment outside, walking around as well. But those are my concerns, is that there's really legit one attraction and that I don't understand the whole Ministry of Magic with being in Paris and London and kind of confusing timelines. So I don't know if that's where you were going with, Gary, but I think it looks great. I just have questions and concerns. That's all.
Can I address one of your concerns before we switch to
please.
Gary?
Yes.
I do believe that the original plans had the Paris Ministry as well. And I think with how, I wouldn't want to say poorly, but how poorly the Fantastic Beasts movies did, that they scrapped adding that. So I do believe the land has expansion space where they could add another ride. I just think that they went away from their original plan.
Okay, that's fine. And that makes me feel better if there is definitely more space for them to add, because I feel like they need to. I mean, Harry Potter is such a huge draw for them at the two parks now. Don't let that not be a draw in the new park because there's only one ride. You know what I mean? But man, I don't know, I read somewhere, or if maybe it was in the video, but like looking at the actual Ministry of Magic, they're saying it's going to be full scale.
Yeah.
So on the video, they mentioned that the smallest building in the new Epic Land the smallest building in, what was it? The smallest building in the Epic Land was the same size as the tallest building in Diagon Alley. So that just shows how big it's going to be, like how vertical.
Okay. Yeah.
But the only thing I did think about the time zones with you as well, Tim, the time periods. The only thing I'm thinking of, and it may be a bit of a reach, but being from Europe, in especially like an old city like where I live, where, I live in a very historical city, is that the buildings haven't changed in over 100 years. So the only thing I'm thinking of is that it is Paris in current day, but it's obviously a very historical part of Paris.
Sure.
So that's the only thing I can think of. So that it is set in present day, but Paris just hasn't changed much in terms of the buildings, because a lot of the buildings that I saw in the Diagon look exactly, in the Epic French portion is pretty much what my city looks like, the same architecture right now.
No, I get that. I did see, before we go any further, I did see a video, them testing a dragon flying above, but I don't know if that's for Harry Potter or if that's for How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon.
But holy cow, that looks amazing. Sorry, I know it's not even Harry Potter, but I just remembered that I saw that video this past week and I was like, wow, that's going to be fun.
Is it weird? The first thing I thought of when I saw that was how many accidents there's going to be on I-4.
True.
Oh, man.
Just make it even worse.
They're just going to have to close I-4 but between 8 and 9 every night when that shows up.
The police are getting calls. There's a dragon.
Oh, God. Anyway, Epic is starting to look really, really fantastic between, all these different, I mean, we're going to have the Monsters universe. We're going to have Harry Potter. We're going to have How to Train Your Dragon. We have Nintendo and Mario and Donkey Kong. And I mean, it's just going to be awesome. And then their own, what is it called? I don't even know what
Celestial Park.
Yeah, Celestial Park. Sorry. It all looks fantastic to me. I just, wish we could probably go on opening day, but probably not even going to be remotely close to getting there.
Nope.
So that's another discussion. So we'll get to that. So just the last couple things before we head out of here. So everybody, I mean, I feel like this is probably one of the best episodes we do every year, and that's the hype episode. So we are doing the hype episode next Sunday. That is our plan, and we should have the full boat today. Ash is playing hooky again today. Damn him. But we'll be back with the hype episode next week. So be prepared for arguing and making fun of each other and yelling at each other, just because my list is right and none of yours is. So
wow.
I'm just kidding. But I have a feeling this year we're gonna have 4 entirely different lists.
I agree.
And I think that's kind of a shock, because usually at least 2 of us has a very similar list. I don't think that's happening this year.
Yeah, I feel like you and Gary were like super lined up last year.
Yeah. And I just have a feeling because it's so original heavy this year, that I think all of us and each of us have different likes in those originals. And I just think it's gonna be fun to listen to and watch if you're watching us on YouTube too. So it'll be a good time. But more importantly, we are very close to 4,000 followers on Twitter. So we have decided to do a 4,000 follower giveaway. I don't know what we're giving away. I think we're giving away Gary's glasses.
I do have the original
Liz has a lipstick she wants to give away. No, I'm just kidding.
We're going to give Ash away, so Ash is going to be your personal butler for a day.
Yes, a butler for a day. How about that? I'm kidding, everybody. No, we legit have some very cool prizes for it. So Gary, Liz, we have an HHN33 hoodie. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Then we also have the most amazing coveted socks ever. We have the RIP socks that were made for us especially last year, that we've been sitting on and been waiting to give away. So we're going to give away some of those Rock'em socks. So thank you to Connor over there for helping us out with that.
Bear in mind, there's only like 5 pairs, I think, or 6 pairs of those socks in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so like they are.
That's correct.
Very limited edition.
Yeah, we all each have a pair, and then we basically have a few more left to give out. So which will be fun. Is there anything else that we're giving away with that, or is it the hoodie and the socks?
There's probably gonna be some other items, but we'll wait and leave that as a surprise.
You want to give it all away?
That's true. So have we decided what the rules are? Are we going to be? They have to follow us. Are we going to put a tweet out? I'm assuming we're going to put a tweet out that they have to like the tweet, follow us, maybe mention somebody else in a comment to maybe check us out.
Well, see, we have to get to 4,000 first. So what we need is everyone's help to get to 4,000, and then we'll let you know about like all the giveaway, how you can win.
Yeah.
But that's what we need everyone's help getting us to the 4,000.
And that was our goal this year to hit 4,000 before opening weekend. Every year we always set ourselves a goal, whether it be, you know, however many subscribers or followers or downloads per an episode or something like that. We always set ourselves a goal because we do put a lot of effort into this show, so we do want to, you know, see the rewards. It's not statistics on the end of the day, but we do pride ourselves on our work, so we do want to, you know, see the rewards from it. But yeah, if you could help us get to 4,000 followers on Twitter, we do have a fun giveaway. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, we are so close to hitting 1,000 on YouTube, which is amazing considering we didn't start YouTube until really a couple of months ago. I think we started updating regularly, so very exciting times.
I mean, we haven't talked about it, but maybe we'll do 1,000 giveaway for YouTube.
Sure.
Maybe we could do a fun live stream and give away some prizes there. So that would be fun.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. So just things coming, hype episode, some giveaways coming. You know, with 4,000 so close on Twitter. 1,000 getting close on YouTube. So we appreciate every single one of you guys, you know, listening and watching and following along and in our craziness and madness that, you know, we're talking about all the time. So we really do appreciate that and are very grateful for, you know, each and every one of you, just so you guys all know that. So, and that being said, Gary, where can people find us?
People can find us at RIP to our podcast on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, Audible to get the audio ones in. We have a merch store. I tested it. You can just literally search on Google RIP to our podcast merch and our website comes up. I think we have 2 or 3 sick new designs this year, which are really, really cool. And we also have threads, which we never use. But you can follow us on there if you want. And we have TikTok, which we now post now and again. But Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube are the main ones if you want to interact or come and chat with us. And last but not least, we also have a Discord, which Liz is happy she's now an admin on the Discord, which I had no part in doing. Yep, she had to do it herself. I just kept putting it off. But she's there. She's locked in now. I
made myself a host.
What a slacker.
That's what Tim did.
It's a trend around here.
Yeah, you know, we get invited on and, you know, you don't tell me I'm a host. I'm just a permanent guest. And then I just make myself a host. So
Gary makes us do it. It's fine.
Exactly. It's your fault, Gary.
Listen, does Jeff Bezos pack Amazon orders?
Oh, boy.
Just
there
saying.
We go.
Just saying.
All right. On that note, we're getting out of here. Hype episode is coming next. Unless we get some crazy announcement this week that maybe we'll be back for. You never know. You could get a bonus episode this week. But we are looking forward to the hype episode, and hopefully you guys are too. So we'll talk to you guys next week then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.